It's been almost a decade since the Gauls had settled in the region. Ankara, their capital, was prospering, but there was a lot of tension between all the cultures that inhabited the province. Although they had adopted some of the Greek ways, the Galatians were still looked down upon for being barbarians. And to make matters worse, some of the eastern factions were also trying to spread their influence. All of this resulted in resentment among the people and extreme cultural tension. Something had to be done. Magurix, the leader of the Galatians, knew that it was his turn to take action against the discrimination of his people and write his name in history. He knew that war was inevitable. However, it was still too early for a military engagement. He knew that declaring war on one of the neighboring factions meant almost a certain defeat. First thing he did, he built a temple. This would encourage the Gauls to worship their own gods instead of adopting the foreign ones, thus gaining more influence in the region. Magurix looked for potential allies, but he found none, since everyone in the region felt resentment towards the Galatians. Knowing that he had to fight by himself, Magurix started preparing for war. He decided that his first target would be Cappadocia. Having signed a trade agreement with the Cappadocians a couple of years ago, their relations had been getting worse ever since. Magurix also needed information. He needed to know what kind of resources and manpower his enemy had. Photusius seemed to be the man for the job. He was sent to the Cappadocian capital, where he would gather information and send reports to Magurix. It was time to engage. Magurix had been gathering information about his enemy long enough. He knew that they had a small army of men currently camped in the settlement. He also knew the exact size of the garrison. All the while he had been raising men who would help him secure the region. He himself was the one leading the troops. Sieging the settlement was considered a truce breaker, ending the trade agreement between the two factions. It would also be a formal declaration of war, and Magurix would be seen as a traitor in the eyes of the neighboring factions. This could have consequences, but it had to be done. But before Magurix and his men could lay siege on the town, the Cappadocians had decided to sally forth and fight in an open field. Magurix saw this as great news, as his force would be able to use its numbers to their full potential. Time had come, and both sides decided to engage each other. It was a slaughter. The well-trained Galatians outnumbered and outskilled the poorly equipped Cappadocians. The small army was routed and the town garrison destroyed. Only a few men lived to tell the tale from a Cappadocian perspective. The settlement was left without an army or a garrison to protect it, which allowed Magurix's men to march and conquer it uncontested. Magurix had won the battle, but there was a full-scale war yet to be unleashed.